What's going on here, man? This is full delayed. Yeah, you're delayed too. Wait, I gotta restart it.
Hopefully, speedy recovery.
Yeah, a bit crazy. Hey, the stream, I don't think it was even going then. 1 second. It's like all paused. Like on the YouTube. But let me just check if it's going. I think it's going now. Yeah, I think we're back now. We're back. All right. Well, we can touch on that. So, before we touch on anything, John, you can say what you had to say again.
Hopefully Van Gaal, our ex-coach, diagnosed with prostate cancer. He has a speedy recovery. Not the greatest news, but, he's a good bloke. And, yeah, it's always been United, touch of United on him.
Well, he's got to go down in United history. He won us our first trophy post Fergie, didn't he? I think, to my knowledge. Yeah, he did. So, he's got to go down as a United, I don't know, he was a bit of a cult hero, wasn't he?
Yeah. Remember that time when who was he talking to, the side umpire?
The fourth official, and he threw himself on the ground. That was the best ever.
I mean, that's an iconic moment, really.
Oh, yeah.
So, no, he's a good character. I remember he used to call the fans Louis Van Gaal's Red Army.
Yeah, I know. I remember the way they used to say it. It was the best. Louis. But yeah, no, it's not good news. He came out on Dutch TV last night, I think, and he said, that it's aggressive prostate cancer, which is never good to hear for anyone, especially if it's someone that as fans, we've been connected to and whatnot. So yeah, all the best for him. He's getting his treatment. Hopefully he can still take Holland to the World Cup and in December, and they can, do what they got to do.
Is he coaching Holland?
Yeah, he's the one that got them to the World Cup.
Oh wow, I didn't even know that. Yeah. So there you go.
So hopefully he can still go, and I'm not really fussed who wins the World Cup now. So.
Well, Italy got knocked out.
Italy gone. Italy, I'm upset. They lost to North Macedonia, and then North Macedonia got done by Portugal, where Bruno Fernandes scored 2 goals, got them through, which was good. One of our players, but I know that
it was an upset. It was a big upset.
Oh, a massive upset. Huge. But yeah, we're actually gonna talk about that next week. Me and Rob are gonna do the World Cup preview podcast. So he's half Italian, so he can rip him. But so touching on that, Bruno scored 2 goals, got Portugal through. But in amongst all that, he signs a new contract.
Yeah, it feels like the players enjoy the break from United, and think everyone enjoyed the break from United.
I did. I
So
said that to you. I'm like, they always talk about the players' mental health, but what about our mental health as fans? The minute United were back, my
yes,
week was ruined.
I know, no, I know. Yeah, so Bruno gets a couple of goals. I think a few other players played well on the
Shaw
international
scored a
break.
goal, said he loves playing for England. Pogba said the same thing.
It just goes to show the harmony at
Well,
United, I
maybe they
guess.
should
So,
turn up for every once in a while for a United game. You know what I mean?
well, they're supposed to be professionals, United is their bread and butter. That's their club. That's pretty much what you earn your paycheck playing for them, not your country. So,
Yeah, so before we touch on the game, which I'm sure we're going to rip into it a bit, so Harry Maguire gets booed by the England fans, and they've been going on about this in England like someone was murdered. What's your take on it?
what
Yeah,
about
he
the
got
booing?
booed by the England fans. And I mean, Southgate had something to say. So many people, they've been dragging this out like legit someone has been murdered.
Yeah, I mean, it's part of the game getting booed, If you can't handle
Thank you.
that, you know, that's when your professionalism has to come in and just,
Well, that's
you
what
roll
Roy
the
Keane
punches.
said. Roy Keane goes, well, you got to get over it. Everyone gets booed.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's got to toughen
Well,
up,
like
really.
I remember
Bottom
World
line.
Cup '98, Beckham got sent off, and they were burning effigies of him, let alone booing him, and no one cared. But now, because of social media
Yeah.
and all this, and then Beckham ended up being a future captain of England. Like get over it. Just go play your game and perform, and you won't get booed.
Yeah, that's right. Modern day players, they're so sensitive. They're so rich and sensitive that,
The
sometimes they
the
just
way
become
I
soft.
see it is, as a fan, you are allowed to do whatever you want as long as it's in the, let's say, the confines of legality. Don't be racist, don't be sexist, vulgar, but you're allowed to boo, you're allowed to cheer, you're allowed to do all those things as long as it's not harmful. Like booing
That's
is
right.
nothing, man. What does it mean? Boo. Oh, big deal. I remember that Seinfeld episode, and he's like, well, they're booing you. Like, what is it? Like, boo. Boo. Who cares? Boo. What is it? Who cares?
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt you.
I don't know why they're protecting Maguire so much. Is it the feel sorry part that he's not
No,
living up to his $80 million
well,
price
apparently
tag?
the only
Or is...
reason he's actually getting booed is because AC Milan are top of Serie A, and Tomori, that used to be at Chelsea, is playing centre back for them. And Fabrizio Romano said he's the best centre back in the league, and Southgate didn't call him up. He called Maguire up, who, as you know, how's he playing for us? Not very good. So you got a bloke that's playing top of the Serie A and apparently the best centre back in their league at the moment, and he doesn't call him up. So I don't know what this obsession with Maguire is.
It's like a protected species.
It's like David Attenborough's seen him, and they're like, "See that over there? That is Slabhead. They come along once in a generation." That's what it's like. It's like, who is he, man? I just don't get it. It's, Anyway,
Yeah.
aside from all that, international, because it doesn't really matter what they do for the international team, they're all crap for Man United. Another loss, it's like a loss, but more drop points at Old Trafford to Leicester, who everyone else is smashing for fun. What's your take on the game?
Well, I didn't get up for this one because I had work commitments, but I did see the mini match. But what I gave of I'm not sure. Like Leicester looked like the better team again. I seen this save
wasn't
the
it
gear
well
made
done?
from the Fafana header or something. I mean, wow, what a save!
I can't remember. One of the commentators
De Gea
said, I think
saved
it was
us.
Owen. He goes, "If it's not for De Gea, like United lose."
Oh, definitely, that was world class save.
Level.
United had a couple chances there, but it looks like Leicester had the majority of them. And
Yeah, I think McTominay should have seen
Oh, that
red
was a
as
terrible
well.
tackle, wasn't it?
Yeah, so that was.
Yeah, so that was, I don't know how he got away with that one.
It's bad when you're talking about your own team,
But
but you got to be realistic. It was a shocking tackle, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think that was.
yeah, I think that was, he was lucky to get a
I mean,
yellow.
especially with
Um,
VAR, I don't know how he gets away with that.
Yeah, he
yeah, he lunged in. But anyway, look, I think the boys have all checked out. You know what I mean? Um,
I think yeah, they can't
I
play for
think yeah,
anything
they can't
anymore
play
this
for
year.
anything anymore this year. I mean, top four is, you know,
Slight chance at
a
best,
slight
That's
chance
what.
at best,
and that
Did you see
and
Did you see
that's it
Tottenham last
really.
night?
Like,
yeah, they were losing to
yeah, they were
Newcastle,
losing to Newcastle and they
Yeah.
ended up winning,
5-1.
so 5-1.
Um, my biggest
Um,
upset was the
my
Brenton
biggest
game.
upset was the Brenton
Oh, that was a
game.
bit. Yeah, that was a massive upset. Yeah. Oh, mate, you don't never
Yeah.
see that happening. But the point I'm making is, we let Conte go. Spurs starting 11 is nowhere near United's. I don't even and you know I don't even think ours is that great. But their starting 11 is terrible, and they would smash us now
Mm,
if we played them. I think because it's all because of Conte. Like they
yeah.
killed Newcastle. Like, and next year if he stays there, Spurs are going to be better. Arsenal are going to be better because they're probably going to make Champions League. They're going to invest. You know, like where are we? I, where are we as a club? I don't.
It doesn't seem like we have much
It doesn't seem
direction.
like we have much direction. You know what I mean? You can see the future team with United is very, hazy.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
can't tell the future team of United. You know what I mean?
Other teams,
Other teams are sort of building on their teams, and I just can't see how United continue with players like McTominay and a few others. You can keep mentioning a few others that are just not up to
yeah.
par.
for
You
United
know,
standards.
for United standards. So
Yeah, man, I think those teams
yeah,
will
man,
all
I think those
improve.
teams will all improve. I think United got to pull their finger out to keep with the
Well, the
pace.
only thing I can say is that we always listen. I hate the Glazers as much as any United fan, but I mean, apparently Ten Hag has had his second interview, so it pretty much looks like Ten Hag's getting the job. Is
Mm,
is that the right move by the Glazers? I mean, no one can say like again, like I said, I hate them for what they've done to the club and that, but no one can say that they haven't spent money. I mean, they've had Louis Van Gaal, like we said, Jose Mourinho, and they've spent how much money? Like, but everyone always blames them. I mean, whose fault is it for spending the money the way it's been spent? Is it the Glazers' fault? Is it Woodward? Is it? I mean, they did put these serial winners in charge as managers and gave them money.
mm.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you're right. Is it giving them money or giving the players that they want? That's the
That's
big
right. Yeah, totally
debate that's
agree.
going on. So,
I mean, if all those
I
managers
mean,
got
if all those managers got,
every
you
player
know,
they wanted,
every player they wanted, I mean, it's not realistic. You go to a club, there is a limit. You can't just go, I want him, him,
Yeah,
and him, and it
yeah,
happens, obviously.
but these players to the
But
point
these
where
players to the point
solely
where solely the board have been buying them and saying, here, you work with what you got. This is what we want you to
yeah.
work with.
so look,
So,
yeah,
look,
like you said,
yeah, like you said, you don't know if Ten Hag's the right appointment,
if he
but
comes,
if he
obviously we back
comes,
him
Yeah, of
obviously we back
course.
him
as fans, but
as
hopefully the
fans.
board
But
back him,
hopefully the board back him,
yeah, they have a
and they have a philosophy,
direction.
they have a direction, they have
Just
a plan. It just doesn't look like United really have a plan right now.
so
So
I think our
I
team's like
think
a
our
jigsaw right
team is like
now.
a jigsaw right now, and
Yeah, so there's a lot of
yeah,
players
so
obviously
there's a lot of players actually, leaving at the end of the season. So it's going to be a bit of an overhaul regardless. So new manager, and you can list 4 or 5 names who are probably leaving
Yeah.
regardless.
Um, so
Um,
look, you got to back
so
him.
look, you got to back him. So
Well,
If he doesn't want
if he doesn't want that Haaland, but he wants that
that player that not many people
that
have heard
player
of,
that not many people have heard about, back him with the player
you know,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
you know
yeah,
that he
hundred
wants,
percent.
signing toy in the
instead of the
window.
shiny toy in the window that
Yeah,
might not
definitely.
work.
Well, I mean, Pogba's gone, isn't he? That's one. And you know what? To be honest, I'm like, oh, man.
He's checked out.
Yeah,
He's
I'll
checked
shut
out.
the door behind
He's
him. Like
checked out.
I'm so done with him. Like 5 years he's been with us, man.
You know,
You know,
he
he
could have been one of
he
the great
could have been
players.
one of the great
Oh,
players. He's a
yeah,
World Cup winner. He could have.
Could have been mentioned with great
He could have been mentioned with great midfielders in the past. He can't be mentioned
No
with
way,
those great
man.
midfielders. You know what I mean?
When people, like you're saying, when
So
people are talking, this is just Man United greats. When people are talking Paul Scholes, Brian Robson, Roy Keane, they're not putting Pogba in that bracket because he just
no,
has not
you
done
can
it
put
for
Carrick
us.
above him. You could put
Oh,
Carrick
Carrick's
above
way
him. You
above
could
him.
put who else come I think
Man,
comes to
Jisung
mind.
Park is above him.
You put Mickey
Ah,
Butt above
mate,
him.
like Jisung Park is ahead of him, and he's not as good as him.
Yeah.
But for United, he's much
Mm.
better. Do you know what I mean? Like that's the problem with.
Yeah.
It's such a shame. Like, but you know what? That touches back onto what you touched on. Mourinho always said, he goes, I didn't buy Pogba. He goes, I got hired, and they gave me Pogba. So maybe if Mourinho had got to spend 100 million on who he wanted, going back 5 years, it would have been different.
Did Van Gaal mention was it Di
Yeah, I
Maria?
think
He
it was Di
didn't.
Maria. One of them, he didn't want
fancy
one
Di
of
Maria?
them. Something like that.
Mm.
One of them. I remember he didn't want one of them, and he got him. You know what I mean? Like it's here, we're giving you this, but maybe give them the money, let them get who they want.
Yeah, well, there's talks of Ten Hag comes. He wants to bring. Is it that winger,
Yeah, hey,
Anthony?
listen, for what he does in the Dutch league, I mean, he's good, but that's not the Premier League, is it? But still, you can't judge them till they play there.
I mean, how many wingers are we going to buy? You know, that's the
true.
So, but look, if he comes back in, I'll be excited because it feels like there'll be change. And obviously, you get excited with a new manager. Yeah, I don't know if he would be my first pick. I'm still up in the air with a lot of it. You know what I mean? So, I haven't really overthink the next manager for United just because been burnt so many times, just overthinking.
Isn't it funny? We had the same manager for 25 years, but we've been burnt so many times with new managers. All in 8 years, they've just killed us.
I know it's been a
We've
rough
copped it,
decade.
haven't
I
we?
think it's been a decade now. This will be 10 years.
Yeah, I think
without
so. At
Fergie.
the end of 2012, yes, at the end of this year. Yeah.
Yeah, so 10 years, it's been a bit of a roller coaster. So
Yep. He left us with the Premier League, and then we finished 7th. So
yeah, they blame Fergie for leaving an aging
Oh,
squad
yeah,
there.
right.
So.
just people are incompetent. But
Well, he sold Johnny Evans. Johnny Evans could have kept
well,
playing.
the
than
one
some-
thing that always
some of
gets
the
brought
centre-backs
up
we had.
is under Van Gaal. I don't know if it's him that did it, but Van Gaal sold Chicharito, Van Persie, Johnny Evans, and it was one other one of the winning team for under 20 million for all of them. So that happened under here. I don't know. Obviously, I don't know if he sanctioned it, but Van Persie, Golden Boot, Johnny Evans, multiple Premier League winner, Chicharito, multiple Premier League winner. And then we go and buy
Crazy,
blokes
wasn't
that
it?
just don't want to be there. Like Di Maria admitted he didn't want to come to us, and we signed it.
Yeah. And he hates, for some reason, he hates United
us.
right now. So.
Every time I see Di Maria playing, it's like the one player I want everyone to boo.
I know. Does he even get a gig anymore of
He
those three
hasn't played
players they
much for
got?
PSG, but he played for Argentina the other day. But I mean, PSG won 5-0 in the morning, and Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe were the only 3 people on the score sheet. So
Yeah, I heard it's the first time all 3 of them scored in a match.
I'm sure if those 3 wanted to... Listen, I watched completely off topic. I saw Messi for Argentina midweek. And if he plays anything like that for PSG next year, mate, he ain't going nowhere. He was unbelievable for Argentina. He was obviously just not happy at the moment at PSG, or just struggling because he's never been to another club. But if he gets going again, he was amazing, man.
That's the one thing he's missing, isn't it? Your international trophy.
No, we won the Copa America. That's why he won the Ballon d'Or. So the
yes,
Copa
that's
America,
right.
I guess, is like the equivalent of Ronaldo winning the Euro. So he doesn't have a World Cup, but I mean, anything can happen in Qatar, I guess.
Well, there
Australia
you go.
ain't winning it, so it don't matter. We ain't even going. We're terrible.
Terrible.
We lost to Saudi Arabia, man. We lost to Newcastle. That's what I say.
Yeah, well, so how do you feel about the
Oh
1-1
man,
draw?
I stayed up. I remember sending you a message. I was like, I stayed up for the biggest dross I've stayed up for in my whole life. Like it was just, I mean, I watch every United game, but it was just 2:30 in the morning for that crap. Like the only shining light of it all was probably De Gea, like you said, and Ranić played Fred further forward, like a number 8, and he looked heaps better as a box-to-box midfielder. I mean, he scored, he was running around, but they were the only two players that really did anything. Still, Man United have not won a game this year without Ronaldo starting, which is ridiculous considering he's 37. So
I've never really seen United start without a recognised
well,
striker.
didn't you think? See, this is what I think of Ranić. Whatever's going on with him, didn't you think he should have just started Rashford? Like we didn't have a striker.
Yeah. Because Rashford
That's
can
where
play
he
up
came
front.
through.
Yeah, because Cavani, loves to get injured.
Oh, I love Cavani. Doesn't play for 3 months for us. Goes on international duty. Oh, listen, like I've liked him while he's been at the club and he's been a great player, but it's a joke. Goes on international duty, plays both games, comes back injured. How's that work? We're paying his wage, man. Like, give me a break.
You only play for Argentina.
That's ridiculous. Rob says Qatar heading for a CR7 versus Messi final. Imagine that. Them near the end of their careers, the World Cup final, that'd be crazy.
So, Portugal, Argentina.
Could you imagine that, though? Just them two in particular, probably their last major tournament. They've been taking each other on personally for 15 years. It'd be crazy.
Yeah, we've both still got decent teams, I guess.
They always get underestimated. And like I said, they won the Euros. I mean, they got through qualifying, obviously, with North Macedonia, but they still got this. Yeah,
they've got some good players.
And same with Argentina. They're going to be strong. And then Rob says, United, same old then. Correct, Rob. Hit the nail on the head. They're just...
We were more happier in the international break, Rob, than watching
Well, I don't know if
United
this is true what Rob said. He made a point here about how we said about Cavani. I think he's talking about Rogic from Australia. So Rogic injured for Australia, but played in the Old Firm derby on the weekend. Celtic Rangers. Wow, that's crazy. Was he injured or did Arnold just not pick him because Arnold's one of the worst coaches? He's the worst coach in Australian history. I don't know where that guy come from. Failed once and they gave him the job again. Work that out. It's ridiculous. But these players that do that, like the club is paying their wage, John, like back to Cavani. How did he miraculously get fit to fly on a plane to South America for one, play 2 games, and then he's injured?
Yeah, that's what he does, you know what I mean? For some reason, every week he's injured, and all of a sudden you see him playing for Uruguay on the break. So I think it just goes on the list that I was talking about earlier, that just going to exit the club, you know what I mean? We're going to have this mass exodus. So for me, Cavani's checked out, Pogba's checked out, and yeah, they're not really being professional to their club, you know what I mean?
Like what I don't get is these blokes, you can tell they've checked out. Like, isn't that bringing your contract into disrepute or something? Like, I just don't.
Well, both players will get picked up.
Of course they will. Like,
but yeah.
The thing is, they're saying about Pogba at the moment, the problem is he doesn't have as many suitors as Mino Raiola probably thought he was going to have. Because, I mean, he's going to go on a free, but
PSG.
Barca are not going to pay him $400,000 a week because they're trying to restructure. They've been going through financial difficulties. Juventus are not going to pay him that. Are Real Madrid going to pay that? PSG, do they want him? Are they going to pay him that? Like, they're actually saying he doesn't have the suitors that he thought he was going to get and get a ripper contract. Like, they're not there. That's even the same with Mbappe. That's why there's talks of Mbappe staying at PSG, because they thought they were going to get these ripper contracts, but no one has that money at the moment. United actually have money.
especially the Spanish
That's
clubs
right.
as well. Um, really, yeah.
Well, Rob agrees with
Well,
you. He goes, Cavani's past it. Get rid of him. I agree with JG. They've checked out. So, that's an opposition fan saying, yeah, they've checked out. Like,
they're already
yeah.
at the beach, as they would say.
Yes, and Rob is
Mm.
agreeing with me, saying Pogba in for a huge shock because it is like, that's what I'm saying. Like, Barca, like I said, not going to give him the money. PSG, are they them? They're trying to sort of change their structure because their fans are getting upset about the way that the Messi thing and the Neymar thing, like they're not, so are they going to go do that? Real Madrid, they're going to give someone 450 a week at the moment. I don't know.
Yeah, you probably got the nail on the head there. You know what I mean? I don't know where he's going to find that kind of money. I even heard talks that Pogba might go within
He
the
does
league.
that. That's the biggest
But
Judas I've ever seen in my life.
it will be pretty bad.
Oh,
It will be pretty
if
bad.
he goes
Plus, the
to
Premier League clubs.
listen, he can't go to Man City or Liverpool. He can't. Like, I don't. That's just he cannot do that. Like I would imagine Raiola would be even advise him. Listen, you can't do that. So then who's left? Chelsea. He's not going to Newcastle.
PSG's
They have to.
the
They have
most
to.
likely, I'd say. Yeah.
Rob says Man City looking at Nkunku from Leipzig. I wish United would look at him. And he says apparently Messi could leave PSG too. Like we spoke about that, he's not happy there. But like I said, if he plays for them like he did for Argentina during the week, maybe Messi can come to United. Messi Ronaldo reunion.
I don't want to. I don't want to hear we're linked with any players until we
Well,
get a
that's
manager.
the other
You know what I
question
mean?
I was going to
'Cause
ask you. So
that just goes to show me that the club are buying the players and not
exactly
the
that's the
manager.
question I was going to put to you. So Fernandez signs a 5-year deal. How is that possible?
Yeah.
Why has he signed the deal when he doesn't even know who his manager is next year?
Yeah, no, it's it. Bruno's one of United's big assets. You know what I mean? Now, so they're losing Pogba. After all said and done, if Ronaldo goes, who's left? You know what I mean? Fernandez will be the biggest star we got if we lose Ronaldo and Pogba and even Rashford and all these guys. You know what I mean? So they're just securing their assets. But you're right. A new manager should be able to restructure his team. So
the way I see it is like,
it's a
look,
big
De
deal.
Gea's been our best player this year. But if Ralph Rangnick, let's say it's him, comes in and goes, I'm playing Dean Henderson, we got to back him because it's his decision. You got to back his choice.
That goes to the Maguire thing as well.
Like Rob says, clubs be warned, think before buying a World Cup winner. That's not a bad point. The only thing I'll say is Varane is a World Cup winner, and he's been one of our only shining lights this year. When Varane's played, we look completely different.
Yeah, look, that's just professionalism. You know what I mean? He's that's all it is, concentration and working hard. But yeah, a lot of these players, these modern players, they've checked out, and a lot of these players know they're not going to be at United next year, and they don't care.
The only thing I say about Varane, where he's probably different, is he admitted it. He spoke to Alex Ferguson when he was 19 years old. It was always a dream for him. He wanted to play for United, so that's probably why he's putting in. He actually he chose us over other clubs, which is, that hasn't happened for United much lately. Like Varane actually picked us, which, like we said, hasn't happened much for us lately. So he obviously wants to be there. That's the difference. Rob says, like we're saying, big risk for a player not knowing who the coach will be. Newcastle, Everton, Man City, same boat. Like saying, they don't know. Like, so you're signing a contract. Like, I've been in that shoes. Like as a player, you could be my manager, John, and I could be your favorite player. You could leave, and the next manager could come in. I could be his most hated player. He doesn't want to play me. And that's what I don't get. Is why he had 2-3 years on his contract anyway. Why is he signing a contract? Why couldn't they just wait till the manager come in? It like chucks the Glazers under the bus, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. It mind boggles me the way they're running things at the moment, but
Yeah.
So next game for
mean-
us is Everton. Everton,
Wow.
9 o'clock next
Gee,
week. So we're
they're gonna
saying
be-
we might do a watch along for that. It's not confirmed yet.
Yes,
But
yes.
Everton
Watch along is
are
possible.
fighting tooth and nail to not get relegated.
They're going to be
They're the
desperate,
only
aren't they?
team that has not been relegated from the top flight, I believe. Them and maybe Arsenal, I think, ever. So they want that record to stay intact, I'm guessing. You know.
What's the point system? I know that
Well,
they're
they're
17.
yeah, but they got
Or
2
they're
games in
fourth or what?
hand. They're 2 points clear of relegation, but 2 games in hand. But they ain't getting any wins. That's the thing. So the games in hand could mean nothing.
Apparently, this fixture
It
list
is,
is
man.
very
I've seen it. It's
tough
terrible.
coming in.
I don't remember it off the top of my head, but it was like you look at it. Don't care who
Like I
you are.
said,
And you're like, I don't want to
Liverpool
play
and
that fixture list.
the big clubs
Yeah,
are all in
and
there.
it's
So.
starting with us. So, but man, I bet you they get points against us. I think it's at Goodison. I bet you they.
It was more of a must-win for Everton than United because what are we fighting for?
Well,
top
you know
six
what
now?
you said. You said a couple shows ago. You actually prefer we don't get Champions League, right? And I mean, people might say it sounds like a bad thing to say coming from a supporter, but I actually agree. We don't deserve to be there. The thing is, I don't want us to be in Europe probably at all. I don't even. I do not want to be in the Conference League. Man United should not be playing Europa Conference, which is not even Europa Cup. It's the next one down. Like it's.
So there's a
Yeah,
third
well,
one
there's
now.
Champions League, Europa League, and then Europa
Yeah.
Conference, like another one. They made it this year. It only come in this year. It's like it's a joke. Like I'm saying, I don't. And what do you think? Let's just say Ronaldo, for example, he's the Champions League all-time leading goal scorer. He's won the Champions League 5 times. Is he staying at United to play Conference League, even at 37? I don't think so.
So what's conference position? 7th or 8th?
Depends on the winners of the cups and that. So Liverpool won the Carabao, so that will go to the league. Liverpool City are probably going to win the FA Cup, so the position will go to the league. So yeah, probably Champions League 4, 5, 6, 7. I think 7. And I mean, Rob is saying what you said, man. Kudos to Brentford for the Chelsea result. And Rob has been saying this for a few weeks. Actually, he's been saying it for a couple months. He reckons Chelsea are going to get pipped for 3rd. He's been saying that. I have to pay him credit to that. You imagine Tottenham and Arsenal make it and Chelsea don't make it, that'll be next level. And then Chris says, are Greece in the World Cup? And Rob says, Chris, no Greeks. Greeks can't drink in Qatar, same as the Italians. So no Italians, no Greeks in Qatar. Oh, well. No Australians either, probably, man. So...
no Australia, no Greece,
Australia,
no
no
Italy,
Greece,
no
no Italy.
Cyprus.
Cyprus will never make it, so none of us are going to. We just got to go for someone else. Just got to pick a team and go for them now. On Jess's behalf, I just go for Germany now. So
Yeah, well, I
exactly,
had the Italy
you have the
thing,
Italy
but
thing
not
that's
anymore.
gone. So I got Germany in my backup now. Oh well, but so
Where are we playing? Everton,
I
is
think
it
it's at
Goodison or
Goodison.
Old Trafford?
What do you think? I actually think we might get done, man. I never
Well,
liked
look,
saying
I've
it,
got
but
no confidence. I've got no confidence in United right now, and Everton obviously haven't been playing well. So 50-50 game,
well, it's
I'd
just
say.
like how Rob was saying, like there's a few things like he's saying, don't get me wrong, he said about World Cup winners, some are motivated, but very few. I've always had a thing where when it comes to the business end of the season, if there's teams that are fighting for survival and they've got a chance, my motto has always been, if you're a gambling man, never tip against them. Because they're fighting for their lives. You know what I mean? And like you said, our blokes checked out. What are they fighting for? It's just...
They'll see United as a good chance to win this game, the way we play.
Rob said United 4-0 Everton.
United to win 4-0.
He's confident for us. We're never confident for United ever.
Rob, do you ever watch our games?
The only one he watched was when City spanked us, probably. Rob says, any news on the EPL season structure for next season? I just think they're starting a bit earlier, Rob, from what I know, but this is every season, and they're taking 6 weeks off for the World Cup. That's what I think is happening. There'll be.
Was there any international friendlies happening before the World Cup?
I don't know. Rob will know. Listen, man. In my opinion, there's too many international games now. They should just do the qualifiers. I'm sick of the friendlies. Only do friendlies pre-tournament. You know what I mean? Why are they doing them mid-season?
They have
I
friendly
don't want to
cups
see
now
a
and stuff
bloke
like
getting 150 caps and 70 of them are friendlies. Like, it's ridiculous, man. Like, what, you know?
Back in the day, if you got 100
it was
caps,
huge.
you know, now it's just
Ronaldo's got like 160 caps or something, John. Like, I don't know if that's in like actual, but it's something big, you know. Rob said June and September for international friendlies. There you go. Like, why? That's just too much for me, man. I think you look at Pele, like Pele had 80 caps or something.
Yeah, I think it went back in the day. If you got close to 100 caps or around there, you're
well.
Huge.
The record, I believe, for England, I think, is Peter Shilton. I think the keeper held it, and I think Rooney's got the most outfield caps. But their record was, you know, how long it took Rooney to like it stood for ages, like because, like you said, it meant something. These friendlies is ridiculous.
I think Rashford's got. And he's only mid.
Yeah, like he's got
25.
50 caps. Yeah, 24 years old, 50 caps.
Yeah. And he's not even playing for England at
Some
the
of
moment,
these blokes, man, I see them. I don't know how they're getting even capped for their countries.
If you look at someone like Phil Foden, if he keeps his levels up, he could, you know.
Yeah.
You know, he plays for England all the time now, so.
Rob said Argentina v Brazil still have to play there. They've got a dead qualifier because they've already qualified. It's just the last qualifier, I'm guessing, on the list. And Australia have got to qualify. So, and he says Australia offering the MCG in June because we've got to play our qualifier. So June, there's a few qualifiers left. But
have we got a chance?
We do. But if we get through, we've got to play Peru, like 5th place South American team like we used to.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, so there is still, if the World Cup was in June like it normally is meant to be, I'm guessing all these qualifiers would be done already, but whatever's happened has happened. And, and then Rob says, he puts in a little, and he goes, and Zlatan has only scored 520 goals. You know? So, well, it's true, though. That it's just too much, too many international friendlies, I think. What's that thing? They got a cup, don't they? It's a cup they're playing?
Oh, they have all different type of things, you know.
Nations League. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Ridiculous. But back to it anyway. So the last topic is they reckon Ten Hag is imminent. They reckon that's pretty much his job. So apparently he's had his second interview and he said to the media the other day, it was the first time he's ever come out and he said, he mentioned Man United, which is a dead giveaway, obviously. He goes, Man United's a big club. No one asked him. And then he said, you know, I just want, if I leave at the end of the year, wherever it is, he goes, I hope the Ajax fans understand, you know, et cetera. All the diplomatic things. He said all the right things. But, I mean, he mentioned United. Yeah. So that's obviously a sign that he's number one on the list, right?
Yeah. It looks like the writing's on the wall. You see all there can't be any fire with this much smoke going around, you know what I mean? So, it looks like it's going to be Ten Hag. I'm excited to have a bold manager.
Well, apparently, before you keep going, the talk is that a couple of our legends could be coming with him on his coaching staff in Robin van Persie and Jaap Stam.
Well, yeah, I heard the Robin van Persie one, but I didn't know the Jaap Stam. I actually didn't know either of them.
No, well, I think Van Persie's at Feyenoord, but there's just this talk. It could just be because they're United people, but I don't know. But there is talk about it. And Ruud van Nistelrooy just got the first team gig at PSV, so he's become a manager now, which is a good thing.
Yeah. So look, I mean, if if he's Ten Hag's the man we're getting, then yeah, by all rights he's allowed to bring his
Yeah,
backroom staff.
100%.
So
Send Fletcher off the bench to wherever.
well, Ralph Rangnick
Yeah,
doesn't even know what Fletcher
exactly.
does. It's like that
Exactly.
guy that's
Exactly.
it's like every club has that one dude that always hangs around and
It's like that mate that used to go
like
out
is
with
there.
everyone that was just there and no one knew what he was doing there.
He always helps
Yeah,
around the club
that's
and all that,
Fletcher.
and he's just like it's like a volunteer. It's just like doing
It's like
that's
that bloke you
Fletcher,
turn
man.
around, you're like, hey man, what's he doing here? I'm like, I don't know. Didn't he come with you? Nah, man, I thought he came with you. That's Fletcher.
Yeah, when Fletcher starts shouting on the sidelines, the other coach goes, "What's he doing, man?" And Ralph like,
That's the best.
"Just let him go,
That's the
Don't worry
best.
about him. Just let him
So
go."
Rob touched on what you said about that bloke from Ajax. Rob's saying United should sign Anthony from Ajax. Like you may have seen more of him. I've only seen him in Champions League games, and he actually looks pretty good. And then Rob says, "How much money does United have? How much money do you think United actually have to spend? Yeah,
To
in the
spend?
summer transfer window.
Probably 100.
That's
Probably
what I reckon.
100.
150 tops, unless they get
Yeah.
some money for.
They could push it to 150 if they
Unless
wanted
they
to.
get some money for some players, which I don't know who. Like, like there's talk of Rashford. You get a bit of money for Rashford, regardless of the form he's in.
I think Arsenal are very interested in Rashford.
Well, apparently this guy said on Opta Sport last night, he's the Man City correspondent, and he reckons he interviewed Guardiola last year, and Guardiola said if there's one player I could get and coach from Man United, he goes, it'd be Marcus Rashford.
Sorry, who said that?
Sorry, who said that?
So does that just show to you that maybe our coaching hasn't been up to scratch if this guy wants him?
Well, Rashford's on the
Yeah,
contract,
that's right. You
so
got to pay for him.
exactly, and Ten Hag might come and want Rashford, and Rashford might want Ten Hag. So, he's not. I wouldn't put him part of that list where I'd say these are the guys.
No. I don't think.
United
I don't think he's going
season,
anywhere,
so.
to be honest. But I'm just saying, for example, if they sell someone like that, they could get some money.
Yeah, and they could go for an Anthony. You'd probably have to sell a winger if you wanted to go for Anthony because I think we've got Dalot in the mix as well. He's been playing all right in Scotland.
Oh, Diallo, yeah. Well, he got left out of the old
sorry.
Firm derby. Apparently, didn't get selected, but I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
He's young,
he's a child,
promising. We've got Sancho, we've got Rashford, Martial to come back, but maybe he's going to go.
See, they might get some, might make some
obviously
money on
Lingard's
Tony.
Yeah, I reckon we'll get some money off Tony. Obviously, Lingard goes for free. Same with Pogba, Matic.
Man, the
I'm
names
not
that
sure what's
they're
happening with
saying, like you said them before and Rob said them. So there's apparently, let's just say Pogba, Mata, Matic, Lingard. What's the other ones? Cavani.
Well, maybe Donny might stay if.
I think he will, definitely. Rob says, do you remember that guy that snuck into the UCL pre-game team photo for United? I do remember that. And Andy Cole, he stood right next to Andy Cole. I watched an interview with Andy Cole. He admitted he just thought it was one of the players. He goes, I was so focused, I didn't even know it was some random bloke. Could never do that these days.
What a legend to get in the photo. He was a legend to get in the photo.
You could never do that these days. And then Rob is saying, like, we're talking about the players, is CR7 staying? And that's what I said. I mean, does CR7 stay and play Conference League? I doubt it.
I don't know.
And then Rob reckons swap Rashford for Sterling. I'll take that swap at the moment.
That's it. Rashford's not playing well. I don't know what's he doing. His head's in the clouds.
Something wrong with him. I don't know what it is. It's just... Even the game the other night, right? Bruno shot, right? When Fred scored, the keeper, Kasper Schmeichel, parried it. Fred ran from behind Rashford to run and get the ball. It just showed he's got there's no urgency, nothing. He didn't, I don't know. Something wrong with him. Just don't know what it is.
Yeah, there's something wrong. There's something wrong.
Oh, John, your best friend's in the house, man. Zakal says, "Hi KP and Johnny G, how are you? It was a draw." He said it's better than losing.
I thought Sakar was going to hit me with an
He was
NRL
going to
question.
ask you
Man.
who you support. Oh man.
G'day, Sakar. How are you, man?
But so,
But
I
yeah,
mean,
so
before we
what was the
go,
draw? And
like, so we've touched on it. Ten Hag comes. We're obviously going to back him, right? Like, the way I see it is,
yeah,
he's had players over there. Like, he got that Sebastian Haller from West Ham, who he was at West Ham, and I didn't even think the guy could kick a ball. And he's playing for Ten Hag at Ajax, leading goal scorer in Eredivisie. I think he scored 8 Champions League goals this year. So
yeah.
obviously he can do
But to be
things with
fair,
players, maybe.
He was doing really well in that. Was he come from the French
Yeah.
league? He was actually doing really well there. But then he come to the Premier League, and like you said, yeah, he could not make
He
it in the
just
Premier
didn't look
League.
like he could even kick a ball. And then
he went to the Dutch league. Mate, is the Premier League too hard for Haller? But
I mean, even
yeah,
Ten
just goes
Hag
to show you.
got the Serbian player, the one that was at
best
Southampton. He got Tadic playing excellent,
Oh, yeah.
who he struggled at Southampton too, and he's ripping it for Ten Hag's team. So, you know, maybe he's just a good coach. I don't know. Like,
Maybe. Well, Ferguson got the best out of players, obviously, and that's the kind of coach we
yeah, that's
need.
right.
Because,
That's what I'm saying. That's what you
yeah.
want, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, see, Rob just said in the chat exactly what he said. It's Tadic doing the damage, and that's what I'm saying. He got him. You know, the guy looked bang average at Southampton. It's not having a go at him in any way, but he looked average, and he went there and he's ripping it, even in the Champions League, ripping it. So, and you think
Yeah.
Pogba leaves, but if Ten Hag's the manager, Donny's going to stay. So that's your replacement for Pogba right there, isn't it?
Yeah, different type of
But
player.
he's going to play as a number 8 because he plays 4-3-3. That's it.
Ten
Yeah,
Hag plays
so-
4-3-3.
You know.
Okay.
So the good thing is, I mean,
Well,
you're
that's
going
why I
to
wish
need a
Pogba
defensive
would stay.
midfielder. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I really like Pogba in a 4-3-3, so I wish Pogba would be part of that. But
Well, like I said, maybe no one's given him a contract. He might just stay. Who knows?
I'm pretty sure he's gone. But yeah, I want him to go. I think United we're better off.
The
if he
writing's on
goes.
the wall for him. I
We
think.
need a
It's
fresh
just-
start. Yeah.
And you know what? He'll go to the World Cup in December, and he'll rip it.
He'll
He'll
probably
light it up.
He'll probably
He'll light it up.
probably playing for PSG or Madrid or something.
So what about there's a few other players that are ending contract that we could look at? Everyone is saying Rudiger. But is Rudiger going to come to us if we don't have Champions League?
I can see Bayern Munich all over
And
Rudiger.
what about the other one is Dembele? He does not stand at Barca. He's a free
I think
agent.
that's an interesting one. I don't think he won't go to PSG. I don't think there's too many players. PSG. I can't see him going to City.
No, I don't think so.
The question is, would he go to United if we don't have Champions League?
You know what? I actually
really?
see him going to someone like Juventus or something.
Yeah,
something
maybe.
like that.
Juve.
Rob is saying compare Tadic to Eriksen's influence at Brentford and Coutinho like that. You know, and there's another one. Eriksen signed a 6-month contract with Brentford. Do you go in for a player like that? Man, I'd take Eriksen.
I haven't seen Eriksen play for a while.
Scored for Denmark in the international break. He scored for Brentford the other night against Chelsea. Like he was always quality for Tottenham.
I know that's recently, but did he not or go have a bit of a decline for a while?
I think he did. When he left Tottenham, he went, but he won the Serie A
at
with
the end
Inter. He was at Inter and they won the league.
He
He was
regular?
playing for Conte, yeah. Don't know but he was.
Yeah.
He was there with
Yeah.
blokes like Ashley Young winning leagues.
Yeah, well, there you go.
So
Because I know at the end of Tottenham he wasn't
I think
really
it's just he
playing
wanted.
well,
I
and then
think
he
it
got
was he
sold.
wanted to leave at the time. That was, but then again, who knows? I don't know. But you know what I'm saying is, there's players there you could go for that aren't going to cost you a bucket load. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, if you really say you get 100 million, you could make that work in this current market because of the free transfers, because of the people kind of need to sell at the moment. You could really make it work if you go spend 100 million on one player like a Declan Rice, and to me,
No, I
it's not going to
agree.
do much. Even though Declan Rice is a great player, not saying he's not, but to just get one player in a transfer window, um, with United's problems,
Yeah,
you know, you'd have to spend another two,
yeah,
three
yeah.
hundred million because you've blown your budget. You need more than one player.
Well,
That's what I'm
Rob
trying
is
to say.
saying sort of what you're saying, and I mean this is exactly what Alex Ferguson did. He's saying up and coming, bottom half of EPL is United's best player buying bet. Like look for those players up and coming, looking to make the next step and make them.
Yeah.
You know that's what Ferguson did all the time. You know, look even
Yeah.
you look back to the treble
Yeah.
year. Dwight York from Aston Villa comes to United, wins a treble. You know, Andy Cole, Newcastle, Man United. Like Eric Cantona, Leeds, Man United. You know, it's.
I reckon I play. Yeah. Look at our midfield. James
Oh,
Ward-Prowse
I'd go for him.
I would take over our
Yeah.
midfield. You know what I mean? And I'm saying if you really wanted James Ward-Prowse, how much
Well,
would
I
it
mean,
cost?
they sell players for
It's not going
fun,
to cost you.
Southampton, because that's their motto.
You know what I mean? It's not going to cost you
Nah,
60,
40
70
million, I
million.
reckon.
Yeah. So there is a lot of good players in the bottom half, even forwards, even defenders, even defensive
And the thing is,
midfielders. I believe we need to.
you saying about James Ward-Prowse, the thing about him is he's going to come to United and want to play, want to perform.
That's right.
Because you know what I
That's
mean?
right.
Like, and he's going to be hungry. Not like Pogba, coming there not hungry. Di Maria not hungry. Sanchez not hungry. He's going to come and be hungry. You know,
That's
I just.
right. And those are the players United should be looking at, the hungry players, the players who want
I
to
agree.
make them a name, who want to, you know what I mean? If you're buying these superstars in the shop window, they come like
Yeah,
full
of
of shit, you know
course.
what I mean? Like they're just
Of
heads in the
course.
air, you know what I mean? And they're not concentrating
Of course.
enough. And they put the odd highlight here and there, and yeah. So it hasn't
Of
worked in the
course.
past. Yeah, we should start looking at those
Well,
players.
the way I see it is like you look at it like, let's just say, even you go back to Robin Van Persie was a champ. He was a top player, right?
He was
But he
hungry for
wanted
that
exactly.
title.
That's my point I'm making. Ferguson went and got him when he knew he wanted to win a title. And he even admits now, he says, I hold United closer to me than Arsenal and only spent 3 seasons there. He goes, because I won a title there. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is Ferguson knew, listen, he's a top player, but I'm going to get him because he's hungry. Rob says, isn't there a young forward at Watford or Norwich? Could be Pedro at Watford. There's talk of him. I don't know about Norwich. They got Pookie. Could be the Brazilian, João Pedro.
Kerry will know about the Watford.
That's my Watford squad, man. Sir Elton, number 1 ticket holder. They're the best. Nah, yeah, could be João Pedro. Apparently he's meant to be good, but I've only seen him a couple times. He's young Brazilian. Rob says United are so big that many players playing lower clubs are still United fans. Exactly. Perfect players to consider buying. And that's true because they grew up watching United dominate. They are fans of them. That's right. Just like in the 90s, players were Liverpool fans, so they kept getting them. Because they like Harry Kewell was a Liverpool fan. He went to Liverpool. You know what I mean? Because he grew up watching them dominate. So, I mean,
look at Liverpool sort of doing that, you know what I mean? They got Jota from Wolves, and obviously Jota's amazing. Robertson from
About
Hull,
2 million.
who ended up being the best left back in the league, probably. They've done that with a few players, Liverpool. So even Henderson, you could say their captain.
Well, you know what? It's
So
Man City have got that Portuguese bloke. You said the best left back in the league. That bloke Cancelo, he reminds me of Dennis Irwin when they always used to say Dennis Irwin was the best right back and the best left back in the league. Cancelo plays on either side and he just rips it. Oh,
yeah, he's a good
dude.
player. It just goes to show the scouting for City and United are just
No,
totally off the
100%.
ball.
Probably spent just as
Because we've probably spent just as much as City,
Yeah, I think
and
it's
look at our
like it's
squad.
not.
and
It's
then
very
look
it's
at City's-
negligible, like the spending, and ours is.
Yeah,
I mean, they bought Ruben Diaz for
and they
40
always
million.
say
John.
Man City.
They bought Ruben
Hey?
Diaz for 40 million.
There you go.
we spent what 80.
We spent what 80 on
And
Harry Maguire.
Maguire's not half the player Diaz is, and that's just a fact. Diaz has been a gun for them, man. Like.
Harry will go down as one of the worst buyers.
Do you know what the thing is? I was saying this to someone the other day before we leave. When all this stuff happened at the start of the year, I actually blame Ole because remember he got locked up in Greece. Maguire at the start of the year in Mykonos. He should have been stripped of the captaincy then. You can't have your captain.
Well, De Gea got stripped for less.
Exactly. You can't have your captain getting locked up, altercations in another country, and then they kept him as captain. The writing was on the wall then that the players can do whatever they want. If they had stripped him, it would have showed some authority. Players would go, well, wait a second. It's not as easy to do what we want to do.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
There you go. Before we leave, Rob says Portugal have 20 plus players playing well in top leagues. He said what we said before, a real World Cup threat. And we said that before Rob come on. I said don't count Portugal out for the World Cup. There, I wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah, I haven't thought about who my favourites are. Obviously, France will be up
all
there.
the good ones will be up
the
there.
players they got
France,
as well.
Germany, Brazil, Portugal.
Yeah. I don't know about
It's
a dark
good.
horse at the moment.
Last time the World Cup happened and the Euros, it's fun when the World Cup comes around, isn't it? Because you get to watch them, and I don't know what the time
I don't
frame
mind
is
the
for
World
Qatar.
Cup.
The games I think are going to be at a good time this time as well.
Yeah, that would be great if they,
Yeah, so
night time,
it's always
7:30,
good when
8
that comes around, isn't it?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, I
World
look
Cup's a
forward to the
killer.
World Cup. Even the Euros you get into as well. But yeah, obviously the international break's the
but
boring
I
part.
don't care about the qualifiers,
is
just
the
cut.
boring part. Yeah, so looking forward to the World Cup, and always got a soft spot for England because
we watch their players. But you know
watch
what? I
their
don't think they're
players,
going to
I
go
guess,
anywhere near it this
so-
time. Southgate's not good enough.
I'll probably go. Nah, it's definitely not good enough. Nah. But I hope they do well because I'll probably be rooting for
Yeah.
them a little bit.
I think once they come up against a top team, they'll just get done.
I mean, Belgium had so much promise a few years ago. They were talking
Well,
about
their
Belgium.
squad, when you look at the
Belgium,
actual team, I mean, look at it. Like Lukaku, Golden Boot winner in how many leagues? De Bruyne, one of the best midfielders in the world. Hazard. Like, the list goes on of their players.
Hazard's
He's
gone
terrible.
downhill.
Rob says 1 p.m., 4 p.m., 7 p.m., 10 p.m. games.
Gee, that's beautiful.
That's pretty good.
Beautiful.
Imagine 7 p.m. World Cup
And
games.
that's at the end of the year too.
7 p.m. World Cup games would be the best, man.
Yeah.
That's killer. Oh, the
Watch
best.
alongs.
Be doing them all the time. All right, so on that note, well, we've given our team enough shit for the night, so we'll probably do a watch along on Saturday for Man U Everton. It's a 9 o'clock game, I believe, because of all the daylight savings and all that. So I think there's some
Very good
Champions
time.
League midweek that we don't have to worry about, so it doesn't matter. And Man City are playing Atletico Madrid, so does that mean we would have been playing Man City?
Jesus,
So we're just getting knocked out anyway. That's how we'll look at it. So, all right, man. Well, everyone who's watching, thanks for joining in. Rob, Zakal, everyone was here. Rob says plus 7.5 hours, guys, for Adelaide. For the Adelaide. Okay. Yeah, all right. Cool. That makes sense. So, yeah, thanks, everyone, for watching. Remember, like, share, comment, subscribe.
Thank you.
And we'll see you soon.